Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Randall's Comics. And hope everyone's being safe out there. And just finished topping off my vehicle today. And how much is gas in your area? Anyway, comment down below. So anyway, I was thinking about tonight's presentation, and I thought, you know, every hero needs a villain to make it a good story. Superman has Lex Luthor. Spider-Man has, I would say Spawn. Someone I would say somebody else. The Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, X-Men, Magneto. So, like I said, this dates back to those old Greek, tragedies. That smiling, crying mask, and I was thinking about a villain. What is a villain? What is a hero? Glasses off. Heroes and villains often share identical roots and traumatic backstories with their diverging pasts determined by their responses to that pain. While heroes often use their experience to protect others, villains are frequently driven to inflict the same pain upon the world, creating a you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Wow, prophetic words. Glasses back on. So, tonight, if you think that Batman is the absolute hero, then my presentation of the Joker is his absolute nemesis, like yin and yang. So let's take a look at the Joker, shall we?
Wait till they get a load of me.
The Joker is a supervillain appearing in American comic books published by DC Comics, created by Bill Finger, Bob Kane, and Jerry Robinson. The character first appeared in the debut issue of the comic book Batman on April 25th, 1940. Credit for the Joker's creation is disputed. Kane and Robinson claim responsibility for his design while acknowledging Finger's writing contribution. Although the Joker was planning to be killed off during his initial appearance, he was spared by editorial intervention, allowing the character to endure as the arch-enemy of the superhero Batman. Now, Bill Finger, Bob Kane, and Jerry Robinson are credited with creating the Joker, but their accounts of the character's conception differ, each providing his own version of events. Finger, Kane's, and Robinson's versions acknowledge that Finger showed them an image of actor Conrad Veidt in character as Gwynplaine, a man whose mouth is disfigured into a perpetual grin in the 1928 film The Man Who Laughs, as an inspiration for the Joker's appearance, and Robinson produced a sketch of a Joker playing card. Interesting. Wow. Sounds like we're going to spend some time on the psychiatrist's couch.
Figure out here is, are we dealing with maybe a little bipolarism, some rage addiction? It could be a lot of things.
My little sunshine has a temper sometimes, but he's not all bad.
Let's try a little experiment.
So let's take a look at my Joker issue that I have now. Like I said, I found this. I got some other Joker books, but I found this to be the most peculiar. And how I was, besides Cesar Romero's Joker, and that was the first Joker I seen on the Batman television series. What really interested me to the Joker when I was a kid, we had these books right here. I don't know if y'all can see this. There's a Joker here, the Man Who Laughs, and crack it open. Of course, here's the Joker right here, laughing it up. And like I said, what made these books so special as a young kid, you could read along in the book, but also in the back, if I can show it here. It's going to fall out. There's the back, but there's an album that you could put on. There you go. Check that out. It's already got some scratches on it. But anyway, anyone got a vinyl player? And like I said, you can read along, and like I said, you have the voice actors voicing over the characters in the book as you read along and to enjoy the story. Alrighty. So, like I said, I've got some other Joker. There's all that. There's a new Absolute Joker that's out, and Joker's. I guess he's looking like a monster now, Monster Mash. But anyway, I guess that this is they're stretching the concept of the Joker, what the Joker can become. So this is the episode of the book that I want to bring you of the Joker. Alrighty. So, so what do y'all think about villains in comic books? Do you think the villain has to be just as interesting as the hero? Let's discuss it on tonight's episode of Thank you for joining for tonight's episode of Randall's Comics and If you like what I brought you, please smash that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell, helps my channel out. And like I said, so what do you think? Does a story need a strong villain to propel the story forward? This has been discussed. For the hero to grow, for the hero, the hero has to go through struggle. The hero has to go through strife, and he has to have a person, a situation that helps, that puts him through, these trials and tribulations, so that they can grow, that they can become more. So, like I said, who's your favorite villain? Is it Lex Luthor? Is it the Joker? Is it Two-Face? Is it Sinestro? Is it Spawn? The list goes on. Darth Vader. I mean, from comic books to movies to TV show series to video games. Every hero, every good story has to have something like an opposing force and something that the hero can overcome. So anyway, thank you for joining for tonight's episode of Randall's Comics and and like I said, you guys stay safe out there, and I'll see you next week.
Fine. You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.